are literally trans rabbis. God, she's so fucking stupid. She's so goddamn stupid. There are literally rabbis who are trans in the Reconstruction, in the Reconstructionist form of Judaism. Okay. So not only is she wrong, she's just stupid. She's so fucking stupid. Not in Reform, maybe even in Reform. I don't know, but I know I know literally for a fact that there are Reconstructionist rabbis that are trans. I wouldn't be surprised if even in Reform there are trans rabbis too. Not just trans Jews, okay? Rabbis. So Brianna Wu is so fucking stupid. This is the same thing as those British girls who converted to Salafist Islam and tried to join ISIS. Literally. Wait, what? Motherfucker tried to convert the Orthodox? Wait. Fielding an entire inbox of anti-Semitic death threats this morning. I get so much social blowback for being pro-Israel. I genuinely might as well convert at this point. I mean, I get all the downsides of being Jewish already. Might as well get the upsides. Yo, this is awesome. This is sick. This is the most anti-Semitic thing that could have ever happened. Okay? I'm sorry to all the Jewish Hasanabi heads. This is basically a nuclear bomb of anti-Semitism. Brianna Wu coming out and being like, the zealotry of a convert is going to be spectacular. Oh my God. I cannot imagine. Oh my God. I think the big thing is I just genuinely vibe with Jews. I totally assumed you're Jewish, Law. That's because I have no filter. Honestly, I think we need to take a look at your DNA. I am adopted. Israel only accepts Orthodox converts. She wants to make Aliyah. Yeah, unless they're Russian or South African. I don't think many of the Russians were Orthodox converts or even Jewish. Even with like any sort of like matrilineal association, but just like straightforwardly no association with Judaism at all. Someone spoiled it for her in the comments. You just need one Jewish grandparent? Yes, but sometimes if you're Russian and you just simply say you're Jewish, since you're in the white variety, that is definitely at least like an Ashkenazi need in the country, they just go, all right, that's fine. I guess you're Jewish now. Also, I'm pretty sure, like I said, the South Africans that left South Africa after the end of the South African apartheid, pretty sure they were not Jewish, let alone Orthodox Jewish. She accidentally joins Satmar and learns their views on Israel. Okay, I don't think Satmar is going to be accepting of Brianna Wu, and it's not because of Brianna Wu's opinions on Israel. Okay, that's not. What is this? I would bet a lot of money I get called a dirty Jew more than most Jews do. What the fuck? Short TikTok on South African converts.
The Ugandan Jew.
No, this is different. This is not even. Oh, this is the Jews that live in Uganda that Israel did not accept. This is a totally separate. This is a totally separate group of people. Because initially there was an attempt to potentially make Israel in Uganda as well as Argentina. I wonder why Israel doesn't accept these guys as Jewish.
Known as the Bayudaya. These are a small community in eastern Uganda who converted to Judaism when Jews came to Uganda, as the British government made the historical proposal to give Uganda to Jews. Yeah? I sometimes wonder why anyone would have such an idea if it is not anti-Semitism, where the British didn't want any Jews in Europe anymore and sent them here. Anyway, when Israel started implementing its policy of granting any Jew in the world free Israeli citizenship, the Bayudai of Uganda filed their request to move to Israel, but were all denied Israeli citizenship for not practicing Judaism enough.
What? That's crazy. What? That's so strange to me. I thought it was the one singular Jewish nation state. What? What's next? What are you going to tell me that Ethiopian Jews receive kind of a similar treatment? No.
However, the white South Africans who converted to Judaism as their racist apartheid regime collapsed in 1994, barely practicing their new faith even once, were quickly granted Israeli citizenship and fled to Israel. I wonder why.
Speaking of Brianna, who another one? Now I saw that. That's how we started talking about this. To those wondering why Judaism has express rules against being trans, Deuteronomy 22:5, a woman must not put it on a man's apparel, nor shall a man wear a woman's clothing, for whoever does these things is abhorrent to God. So trans people cannot convert to most streams of Judaism. Just another reason we should not be living in accordance with a 2,500-year-old text. Then there's Deuteronomy 23:1. No one whose testicles are crushed or whose male organ is cut off shall enter the assembly of the Lord. What the fuck? That is straightforward. I didn't know it was like that. In my cousin's Orthodox shul in New York, the assistant rabbi's wife transitioned to male. It was accepted. Charedim in Israel do not determine what is Jewish. That's why we have a reform movement. Judaism contains multitude. Israel only recognizes Orthodox, so no, Israel would not accept her. I didn't know that. I thought if you were... Wait, there's no way. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think the fucking South African quote-unquote converts were Orthodox. I think they just kind of pick and choose depending on how white you are. That law likely has something to do with eunuchs or those who work within the royal courts of empires of that era. Homeland Security Council meets to discuss the threat of Zoran. What? Trump's Homeland Security Council sets its sights on Zoran Mamdani. Okay. The fact that this was like a meme 2 days ago and it's becoming like a real proposition is crazy. President Donald Trump's Homeland Security Advisory Council, a group that includes Rudy Giuliani, cop-turned-actor Bo Dietl, and the founder of Bikers for Trump, held its first meeting on Wednesday to discuss the top threats facing the nation. The conversation quickly turned to New York City mayoral candidate Zoran Mamdani. After hearing Giuliani deliver a speech against asylum-seeking immigrants, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem chimed in. I want to ask you, do you want to run for mayor of New York again, she asked, drawing cheers and applause from around the conference room. Bo and I have been talking about putting together some kind of strategy. It's doable if it's one candidate. It's a suicide mission if you're three, Giuliani said. Longtime GOP politician, by the way, Rudy Giuliani would get fucking destroyed. Rudy Giuliani has a harder chance of winning the New York mayoral race than fucking Eric Adams does at this point. That's so funny that he thinks he could just like run. He has a harder chance of winning the New York mayoral race than fucking Curtis Sliwa does. It would be so funny if he ran, though. Oh my God, I hope he runs. I have a better chance of winning the fucking New York mayoral race right now if I decided to join than Rudolph motherfucking Giuliani. Are you kidding me? He would get a collective total of 8 votes. I don't even think he is eligible to run, but that's besides the point. Let's say he is. He has a better chance of splitting the Red Sea, which, according to Rudolph, is not that big of a deal. It's happened numerous times, which is my funniest, forever the funniest way to talk about anything related to Judaism is like, it's not a big deal. It happens all the time. That's what he said. Oh man. Okay. Where were we? Democratic Congressman Tom Suozzi slams Zohran Mamdani as a bad example who made lofty utopian promises: free public transit, free college tuition, more public housing. Ugh, gross. Lawsuit claims Giuliani said, "Get over the Passover. It was like 3,000 years ago." He also, Jews want to go through their freaking Passover all the time. Man, oh man, Giuliani once said, according to the complaint, which was filed on Monday in the New York Supreme Court, and indicates that the comments were recorded. Get over the Passover. It was like 3,000 years ago. The Red Sea parted. Big deal. It's not the first time that happened. So many things in this statement are hilarious because it's like, this implies that the Red Sea literally parted, and not once, but on numerous occasions, okay? Which didn't happen even one time in actual history. So what the fuck is he saying? What does Rudolph Giuliani know? How many times has the Red Sea parted? Get over it. It's not a big deal. It's not the first time that the Red Sea parted is the funniest fucking thing to say. It's just one of the funniest ways to talk about Passover or anything related to Judaism. I am unimpressed by Moses' activity in parting the Red Sea. Many other people have also done the same thing. Breaking, U.S. contractors say colleagues fired. Live rounds at starving Palestinians in Gaza. American contractors working at Gaza, 8 sites run by the U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, told the Associated Press that their colleagues have been firing live ammunition, stun grenades, and pepper spray at the desperate Palestinians seeking food. Videos and internal reports reviewed by the Associated Press backed their claim, revealing chaos, injuries, and unqualified contractors operating with little oversight. Something that, again, we have been warning about for months at this point. Here's a video of the event.
Heavily armed American security contractors at one of the sites discuss how to disperse Palestinians nearby.
Hey, got IDF tank posted on the northwest corner now. I brought him in and talked to him. There's to the show first. Well, I told him to hold there. I don't want this to be too aggressive.
At that moment, bursts of
There's literally gunfire in the background, by the way.
Fire erupt close by. At least 15 shots. The camera's view is obscured by a large dirt mound. The contractor who took the video told AP that he saw other contractors shooting in the direction of Palestinians who had just collected their food and were departing.
Yep. Hell yeah, boy, he says, after shooting a starving Palestinian. Yes, I did hear the yee ass motherfucker in the background. How many more incidents like this do we need to see directly with our own two fucking eyes, even being now reported in Western media as well, for people to realize that the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation was literally from the jump supposed to do exactly this? The ones that did not want to participate in this literally were like, I don't want to do this. I am a fucking mercenary and I don't want to participate in this. I'm leaving. That's what Jake Wood said. Or what was his name? Yeah, Jake Wood, the Marine sniper turned mercenary who was in charge of the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, very quickly quit. This isn't being covered much, but this guy's literally in prison for crucifying a priest for Israel, actual domestic pro-Israel terrorist. I think that guy is he's like a psycho. I don't think he's not Jewish. Adam Schiff, an extremist Zionist with Hebrew tattoos around his neck, compared to the I've seen this psycho confessed to the gruesome murder and crucifixion of a 76-year-old pastor, Bill Shoneman, in April 2025 in Arizona, the first of 14 pastors he allegedly planned to kill. He did convert to Judaism? I thought he was evangelical. The IDF denied the Haaretz report on the orders to shoot aid workers, but then changed the rules of engagement to make it harder for soldiers to get permission to do so. And now here's a soldier whining that he can't shoot into crowds as easily anymore. Read message to Israel's Channel 14 correspondent from an Israeli soldier frustrated that new orders limit when troops can open fire on Palestinian civilians approaching aid sites. Full English translation. How's it going? Hillel, I'm writing to you from Rafah, near the Humanitarian Aid Center. Listen, we woke up to a morning with new directives. Until now, it was allowed to use deterrent fire on Gazans approaching the secure distribution sites. I'm in the tank, watching them arrive there at a time they're not allowed, and we're just dropping tear gas over them and ending the event. This is just insane. Now, even to get approval for deterrent fire, you have to go up the company commander. Not even fire to kill, just deterrent. Sad face. Crying face. The soldiers refer to deterrent fire, the military's term for live ammunition fired at Palestinians to push them back from aid sites. The policy, he says, has now been restricted and requires higher level approval. So if the Haaretz reporting was untrue, why did the IDF issue a new directive, I wonder? One of the replies to the post by Channel 14 correspondent. What a bunch of morons. Do you realize that your tweet confirms the Haaretz investigation? Soldiers could shoot at will, including artillery, at people looking for food. After that, you'll scream that the investigation is false. In the earlier translation, slight correction, of the Israeli soldier message, we said troops were dropping tear gas. A more accurate rendering is, now I'm in the tank, watching them arrive there at a time they're not allowed, and we're just flying a drone over them and contain the event, not a tear gas. Also, company commander is better translated to battalion commander.
Hi, Mr.
So,